Yo YouTube, what's up? I'm Tim, he's AC. This is the Cash Coin AC Sports Report. An interesting topic came up this past week. Over the last few years, I've really thought about this topic a lot. A lot of people have asked me my opinion on this. And is Michael Vick a good role model? Now, there's a few different senses to look at this, and we're going to examine both. We're going to start with, is Michael Vick the player a good role model? And we'll start with Michael Vick the person. So, we'll start with Michael Vick the player. So, Michael Vick the player had a reputation early in his career to kind of be somewhat lazy. You know, he wasn't a traditional quarterback, he didn't do the homework, you know the story. Now, Michael Vick has a reputation as one of the harder working guys in the league, so he's certainly changed that reputation, and he's worked back, not only just to get back into the league, but to improve when you're 29 and 30 years old is not something a lot of guys do. To do a complete 360 as a player is not something a lot of guys can do. So in my opinion, as a player, Michael Vick is a role model. AC, what do you think?
I'd say at this point in his career, yeah, I agree with Michael Vick, a good role model. I mean, early in his career, obviously, he wasn't for young players coming up in the league. You don't say, wow, I want to be lazy like Michael Vick. It's just not something you say, because he was lazy. And I think, you know, as sad as it is to say, I think it's pretty kind of straighten him out a little bit, which is what a person is supposed to do. But, I mean, yeah, he really did make a complete 360, because we followed him from the day he stepped into the Eagles franchise, and they always said, they've never said anything but good things about his work habits now. So, I mean, as far as his work habits as a player, yeah, I'd say right now Michael Vick is a role model.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, there's really nothing better like someone told me, this is a guy who had it all, and he had it all. I mean, he was the highest paid player in the NFL. He was probably the most popular player in the NFL. Man, he had it made, and he ruined it. But then he had it all. Now he's gotten it all back, and he's not losing it this time. And that part makes Michael Vick a role model for sure. Michael Vick, the person. Now this one to me, there's a few different parts you have to examine in this. Obviously, there's no question Michael Vick, the dog killer, was not a role model. You know, no shit. But the two sides I look at this is Michael Vick a role model for people like me and AC? I don't think so. But is Michael Vick a role model for people in the inner cities who have had, maybe they've gotten in some trouble with the law, or maybe they've been in families that have had trouble with the law, and they're trying to get out? Michael Vick helps you realize that A, you can get out, and B, he's working to make sure people don't make the same mistakes as him. So, I mean, I don't look at Michael Vick as a role model as a person, but I could certainly see how people can say they do at this point.
Yeah, I mean, for people that are in prison right now, or have been in prison, and that want to make something out of their lives after they get out, yeah, Michael Vick's a pretty decent role model, but for normal people, and, I just don't think it applies the same way, like you were saying. I just don't think that he's a good role model for people like you and I, or our parents, or people that haven't been in a correctional facility. I mean, the way he came back, and the way he made something out of his life, and the way he really just got his whole life back together, was pretty impressive. But I mean, you don't want to go around getting in trouble in the first place. And that's why, as a person, to me, at least, he's not a role model as a person.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly see that. I think the thing, for us, he's not going to be a role model. That's just kind of how it goes. But, I don't know, I see a part of him that is a role model. And, the debate will go on and on and on with Michael Vick. Michael Vick will go down as one of the more interesting careers that's ever been in any pro sport. Whether you like him or whether you don't like him, you want to watch him play. Whether you like his style or not, you tune on to see him. So as a player, even if you don't like how he plays, you watch him. So there's that sense to it. And is he a great person? I tend to think at this point he has turned his life around. I mean, I don't know. Someone was saying to me the other day, wait till he gets that big guaranteed contract again and then see what happens. that's something you gotta look at, but I don't see Michael Vick returning to how he was, where he's getting caught with marijuana in a water bottle compartment. First off, who does that? Second off, he's not gonna dogfight again. There's none of that. There really isn't, and there's that part of it to look at for sure. And I don't think when he gets, I really truly look at Michael Vick and think he's learned his lesson, because I compare him to Tiger Woods, and the thing for me is that Tiger Woods has come back, and he doesn't appear to have learned his lesson. Not only off, I think everyone knows the whole off the court apology and everything just seems so staged and so fake, like he didn't really care, and that's fine. But he's let it come onto the field too. Not only has Michael Vick improved as a person, and he really has. I genuinely think right now Michael Vick is a good guy, and I know that's really hard for most people to understand, but I do think right now Michael Vick is a good guy.
Going back to what you said about the contract, now, people were saying wait till he gets a big contract and he's going to get in trouble again. That's not true. If he has any kind of intelligence in the world, that is not true, because he already has animal rights people, the entire national media, breathing down his neck, waiting for him to make another mistake. Okay? So I don't think, unless you're genuinely stupid, that you would do that at any point in your career. I can care less what you do after your career. But, that's just the way I see it. I don't see him going out and dogfighting again. That's just not, it's just stupid. What? That's not even a question.
Yeah, I've heard people compare him to, O.J. Simpson, who, whether you believe or not he killed someone, he certainly, the whole case was kind of shady in the first place. And, yeah. And everyone's like, well, just wait or everyone thought this guy would just stay away, and it turned out he was so stupid and genuinely stupid after, I don't know, what was it, 15 years since he had gotten tried for that other thing and was found innocent. It turned out this time he holds up some guy for his own memorabilia. That O.J. Simpson is genuinely stupid. I think the thing that's different with Michael Vick is he went to jail. He served his time, and, whether or not you think it's enough time, he's come out and he's done what he's been asked to do and more. Michael Vick is still doing charity work, and he only had to do that for a few months just to get everyone off his backs, and then he could have just lived a normal life. He's continued up with the charity stuff. He does, I hear him on radio stations and stuff. He just seems like a nice guy. I understand. He's not someone... The way I've always looked at it is I like Michael Vick the player. I don't know Michael Vick the person, so I don't know if he's a nice guy. It's the same with my mom, or someone will say, how can you possibly watch 2.5 Men after what Charlie Sheen does or someone? I don't care what Charlie Sheen does when he's not on TV. 2.5 Men is a funny show, so I tune in to watch it. There's a difference. Michael Vick is a tremendous football player, so I tune in to watch Michael Vick. If Michael Vick's mowing his lawn in his yard, I'm not going to tune in to watch, because I don't care about what Michael Vick does off the field.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that to a point. Us as fans of the game and analysts of the game, off the field issues they're minor. They don't really matter. If someone gets, like you said later, going back to the caught with marijuana in the water bottle compartment, that doesn't matter to me. I know at least 20 people who smoke weed.
Yeah, well, so do I, but I think the difference is Michael Vick was always in trouble. That's what, Tim Lincecum's never really been in trouble for anything else. He got caught with pot. No one could care less. I don't care, and maybe it's just because no one really cares about pot anymore. But I just it didn't faze me. Tim Lincecum's a baseball pitcher, and he's a great pitcher, so I watch Tim Lincecum pitch. I really don't care if he smokes pot off the field. I think it's stupid, and it's bad for you, and it kills you. But that's a personal decision on his part. If Michael Vick gets caught smoking pot, yeah, well, I know it after you get caught, with all this stuff he's been caught with, you really shouldn't do things like that because it's just stupid. But that's not harming other people, that's just harming yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that. But like you said, prison changes you. I mean, I think that's a good point you brought up with OJ, how he never went to prison and never really, I guess you could say, learned anything. But you know, and let's get something straight here. I think athletes, I don't care how much you make, if you're a professional athlete, I think you should constantly donate to charities and give money away and do charity work because that's your job. I mean,
Michael Vick's doing some charity for a lot of creditors right now.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, you're making millions of dollars, so I mean that's a choice. But I think as an athlete, it's a choice you have to make. So.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of them don't make that, and you can't really criticize someone for not. I mean, I don't. I look at it as they want to live their own life. You can do what you want to do with your life, but who looks better, the guy donating to charity or the guy who just sits there? You know, I know someone who worked with the Cincinnati Reds organization, and he said, or the person said that when they called for charity work, Johnny Bench was always kind of a dick about it, and Pete Rose was always willing to do it. Well, who looks better? If it didn't come with all the baggage of Pete Rose, then Pete Rose would look better. I mean, not to twist this... Yeah, not to twist this too far away from Michael Vick, but I mean, those are things you gotta look at it as.
Yeah, I mean, people always say, well, you know, Michael Vick, he has to do charity work, he's just smiling for the camera and stuff like that. I don't think that's true. I think he's doing it because he wants to. He wants to bring his image back. He wants to get people to get away from the whole dogfighting thing. Obviously, nobody's ever going to drop that. It's going to be like the snowballs and Santa Claus thing, but that's another story. So, you know, I just don't. I just think he is genuinely sorry, and I think he could be a role model. He's got a little bit more work to do, but I think he could be.
You're right. It's never going to go away what he did. It really isn't. You can't erase doing something like that. But the thing he's done is he hasn't tried to really erase it. He's tried to make sure other people don't fall into the same trap. And yeah, I mean, he's done what he can. The bottom line, the guy made mistakes. A lot of people don't learn from prison. You know, a lot of people just continue to make stupid mistake after stupid mistake after stupid mistake. Michael Vick fixed his problem, and he works to better stuff. And the bottom line is, I know a kid who's a Giants fan who just bags on Michael Vick the whole time for dogfighting. And the bottom line, it's because he's playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. Because if he was playing for the Giants, he'd be worshiping him. One thing I want to get straight, though, is I'm not just saying this because Michael Vick's on the Eagles. You guys know damn well that at the beginning of this season, I was not on board with Michael Vick. And it had nothing to do with dogfighting. It had to do with, I just didn't think he was a good enough quarterback. I thought he was massively overrated. I thought people just liked the style, and because Kevin Cobb was this skinny white quarterback, people didn't want to have him here. And, you know, it turned out I was wrong. And I still get comments on those videos, and, hey, I mean, I was wrong there. And that, to me, just shows that we're not just saying this because we're Eagles fans. We're saying this because that's how we feel. We'd be saying this if Michael Vick sucked, except we wouldn't be having this debate if he sucked, probably.
Sure. And he's relevant, and one of the biggest, I guess you could say, topics in the NFL is, you know, Michael Vick kicked the piss or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, really, when he was on, the Eagles were on Sunday night football games numerous times this year. Monday night they switched it. They weren't going to be on those with Kevin Cobb. People tune in to watch Michael Vick because of how he plays the game and the excitement he brings. My gut feeling, will his style ever win a Super Bowl? No. But he's fun to watch. I mean, that there's nothing against that. I just... Then again, Andy Reid's the head coach, so it doesn't matter if Peyton Manning's back there. You're not going to win a Super Bowl. That's all I got, really.
Yeah, very true. Very true. That's another story on a different video.
Alright, I'm Tim. He's AC. It's the Cash Cow and AC Sports Report. Find us on Facebook, Cash Killing AC Sports Report, Twitter, Cash Killing AC. Email us. I don't know who emails, cashkillingac@gmail.com. YouTube, Mr. Kelstar, for those of you who find us on other sites. And our new site, AC, created this morning, cashkillingac.wordpress. That is official shit. .com. I'll see you guys later.